So, hello, everybody. I hope that you are doing well. I know that I am. This is the live version of the Demetra K Show, where I am sitting here with Donovan, the recovering Democrat Sadiq, also known as the Black Yul Brenner. And the purpose of the Demetra, there you go, still bald. Purpose of the Demetra K Show is to promote Black love, knowledge, and understanding of all things that go on in the Black community to make us an even better people, with the emphasis on even, because we are great people, but we can always strive to do better. Like I said, big giant thank you and welcome. Hello to YouTube, Twitter. Facebook is not on here for whatever reason. I couldn't share it, so I'm going to try it when I give it over to Donovan. So not know what's going on there. But anyway, I'd like to say thank you all. Welcome. Today we're going to be talking about Black Lives Matter organization wanting to start a new era after trouble passed with leadership. Now I came across this article about a half an hour ago, and I was like, oh, okay, that's interesting. So I want to pose a question after I give you guys the details about what has happened and what they're trying to do to this point. Hello, Thunder. How are you? So, Donovan, what say you?
Welcome back, you guys. It's great to have you guys co-host. You guys are probably the best group of people on the internet. Do us a favor. We got a scrolling banner at the bottom. If you want to donate, that is the ways you can donate via Cash App, PayPal, Venmo. We can take cashier's checks, credit cards, whatever you guys got, we're willing to take. And we really appreciate it. That keeps the show going and it keeps the content creator motivated. Also, don't forget to download the African Diaspora News Channel app. You can get that on Google Play and Apple Store. You can download it. You can see Philip Scott, Demetra K, my compadre over here, Vicky Dillard, all sorts of the new people that he has hired over there. And for those of us that have been with Phil Scott since he started from the very beginning, he has expanded and he keeps expanding. And that's a blessing in itself, that Black media, that we're coming together to put our eyeballs to talk about issues that affect the Black African diaspora. So go down there, check it out, become a member. Once you become a member, if we get enough membership, we don't have to be on these platforms and we can talk the way we want to talk. We can talk about what we want to talk about and speak the way that only Black people speak, as you know what I'm saying. So again, you can do it that way, or just go on YouTube, become a member there, subscribe there. You can still get the same great information and context. Also, do not forget, this year they are going to Ethiopia. If you're interested in going to Ethiopia, possibly meeting Phil, well, you're definitely going to meet Phil Scott. You could ask him some questions and comments, take some pictures. Also, there's a possibility you can meet Demetra K as well, and the rest of the content creators that are on that network that will be going to the show. They're going to Ethiopia this year. I believe there are still some spots. Go to that link and you will see where how many spots are available and are left. But it's a great way to go out, see Africa, and experience. I think the best thing for Black people to do is put foot on the African continent one time. Do you know of all people who do not go to Africa? Black Americans. We do not step foot in Africa, but we talk all this black stuff. But we don't go to Africa. We go to Europe, we go to Paris, we go to Japan, we go to Thailand, we go to Philippines, but we don't go to Africa. So that's a great way to do that. And again, download that app and let's get into it. This Black Lives Matter thing, as you guys know, very, very famous organization that actually started during the killings of, well, the recent killings of young Black males and females recently, and it kind of went far astray. So we're going to get into that, talk about it. We want to hear you guys' opinion, because I can almost guarantee, Demetra, these people know a little bit more about it than we do in regards to certain topics or things of knowledge that they have. So let's have this great discussion.
All right. So hello, everybody. Once again, I just shared it on Facebook again. I don't know what's happening, but I did share the link. So we'll see what happens. So anyway, I saw this article in regards to Black Lives Matter. Now, we haven't really heard a lot about them within the last, I'd say, year or so, as we know that they've had a lot of issues. But as Donovan said, Black Lives Matter came into fruition during 2013, shortly after the killing of Trayvon Martin, who was killed by that of George Zimmerman. In 2012, as he was walking home in his father's neighborhood with an iced tea and Skittles, wearing a hoodie. Of course, George Zimmerman was not a law enforcement or anything like that. He was some self-appointed vigilante who deemed Trayvon Martin to be a threat after he was told by 911 and everybody else to, stay in the house, do not go, and try to handle the situation. Let them handle it. He took it upon himself anyway, and he shot him dead. And from that point, Black Lives Matter was formed. Originators of that is Alicia Garza, Patrice Cullors, and Opal Tometi. Three women who appear to be of the LGBTQ community. From that point, they did go on to really rally behind the Black Lives Matter organization and all that, going all over. And of course, from that point, we had your Michael Browns and your Eric Gardners and a whole host of other Black men and boys and women and girls that were killed by white supremacists and or same thing, right? Law enforcement. And so they originally were seeking, I guess, to bring awareness to that and say, hey, our lives matter, right? Black lives matter too. But of course, y'all know from that came other groups, all lives matter and blue lives matter. Y'all know them folks don't have an original bone in their body. Anyway, most notably during the George Floyd protest, due to George Floyd in 2020 being murdered by that of Derek Chauvin, a police officer, putting his knee to his neck for nearly 10 minutes. Of course, that's when Black Lives Matter, they raked in a lot of money because white supremacists, I mean, maybe not even white supremacists, but people all over were feeling some sort of guilt, right? It jolted people to the core all over the world to see a lynching live and in living color. Of course, it was filmed by bystanders, and we know that Derek Chauvin was sentenced to, I think it was, 25 years in prison. Not hardly enough, right? But nevertheless, he was sentenced to prison. But unfortunately, Black Lives Matter had some issues from that point. One of the issues was misappropriation of funds. It is said that Patrice Cullors, one of the original founders, she's no longer there. She misused a lot of money in buying a bunch of real estate, I think to the tune of like $6 million. And then she tried to call some of the homes. They were like, it's like a Black Lives Matter corporation or something like that, where they can meet and do videos and all that kind of stuff. But it seems like she was using the properties to do her own content creating. I guess she was trying to cook at one point in time. Also said that she gave her child's father a copious amount of money. Sounds like he put on concerts and things like that. So nevertheless, during some the tax returns of last year, this is what it said. It says under Color, so Patrice Cullors' leadership, Black Lives Matter Global Network Foundation, that's the big one, right? Doled out massive contracts to her friends and family, purchased $6 million mansion in Los Angeles in 2020, and financed the purchase of an $8 million, so it was more than that then, $8 million mansion in Canada in 2021. By the end of its 2023 fiscal year, tax form shows Black Lives Matter saw the $80 million windfall it raked in during the George Floyd riots in 2020 diminished to under $29 million as it hemorrhaged cash fulfilling lingering contractual obligation to Cullors Associates. So, there's a lot of money that went out to her and, other people and things like that. But what the Black Lives Matter, because there's different factions of it, if you will. So the Global Network Foundation is the big one, and there's all these subsidiaries. Like there's one in Houston, there's one in LA. A lot of them have sued the Global Foundation, saying that we didn't get any of that money. In fact, the money just kind of stayed where it was. We were scraping by. We're the boots on the ground, right? We're the grassroots organization, and we didn't see a lot of that money. A couple of them have been sued themselves. So it's just a mess. But they said, we are committed to ensuring BLM's future and its ability to fuel the work we do for Black people around the globe by managing our annual expenditures. Black Lives Matter said in a statement, year over year, we have decreased expenses from our first filing through this filing 71% over a 3-year period of time. We have sought to make the organization sustainable and remain a core pillar that funds the Black liberation movement for the long haul. So they are basically saying that they are a new era, and they want to, kind of move forward from that and fulfill the original thing that they were trying to do in the first place, and that's making sure that Black Lives Matter. So the question, and then Patrice Cullors is no longer involved. I know that they were trying to get her to answer for the money. I don't know exactly what happened with that, but it sounds like she got away with a bag, right? So my question is, Black Lives Matter, the ones that are left, they're saying that, they're going to start a new era and they want to continue on with the work. Now I'm asking y'all, and I guess the Black community, is that something that they should be able to do? Donovan?
Are they insane? Are they insane? When you have a brand that has been tainted so badly.
Oh, hello. Did we say hello to Thunder, by the way? Hey, Thunder.
Hey, Thunder.
Sorry about that. And hello to everybody else that's on there.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
You have to be insane to think that a brand that has been tainted so badly as Black Lives Matter, that you are going to move forward and expect donations and people to support you after the biggest grift and the fraud against the Black American community in American history. If these people were smart, they should fold the doors on this organization, rebrand it with a different name, a different something, and start the grift all over. You don't use that. That's almost like calling yourselves the National American Zoo Institute, right? But it's short for Nazi. But at least you changed the name of it. Do you see what I'm saying? But you expect to get money. But here's the sad thing about it. And I'm going to keep this super short because I saw some great comments in there. I'm going to keep this super short. The reason why they feel they don't need to do that is the same reason that they know Black people are going to support it anyway. Identifying politics. ID politics. We're playing all these ID politics. Oh, it's Black, so we're going to give some money. There's always going to be somebody that is going to go out there and give the money, even though they know these people have done wrong. Again, we give our votes to the CBC that don't do nothing for us. We give our votes to the Democratic Party that doesn't do nothing for us. So why not keep the same brand name and notice that, hey, we're going to take your money and abuse you anyway. You're going to give us the money anyway, right? That's what goes on because they know how Black people get down, and we're just so damn forgiving, and we're just going to move on forward, just because they said so. Oh, well, these people aren't involved with us anymore. We're just going to move on and, and give us a chance, you guys. We're going to go into a different era. They know who they're playing against. It's almost like, that mark that keeps coming to the casino, and you're going to take them every time. That's what they think about the Black community. And to me, personally, it's an insult to my intelligence that you are going to call yourself Black Lives Matter and expect to get one dime from me.
My apologies, y'all. At the time, I saw only Thunder's comment, and then when I refreshed, I was like, oh, okay, it's everybody else is on here. I only saw his, so I apologize about that, you guys. I didn't want y'all to think, she's not going to acknowledge us. I didn't see it until I refreshed. So forgive me. So let's get to these comments. Thunder, you say, have you ever read the original mission statement of BLM? I was interested, but I read the mission statement. I realized this was not a place for a heterosexual Black man with a nuclear family. Yeah, that's the way it kind of seems like they were really kind of more pro LGBTQ than anything. So I don't know if they originally started off trying to help Black men and boys and women too, saying Black Lives Matter, and then it just kind of turned into something else. I don't know, but yes, it did kind of seem like it turned into more of a rainbow, coalition. Samaj, how you doing? Says BLM is the dominant wing of, and then your comment cut off. Let's see. You also say Thunder. So I said no thanks, and later at this, as time passed, the real agenda came to surface. Yeah, she got off with a bag, right? Mike, nice. How you doing? I hope you're doing well. Brother Abdul, I hope you're doing well. Say, I might even a bigger, I think your comment is kind of skewed, but maybe you want to retype it. Hey, Troy, how you doing? John, what's going on with you? Brother Samuel, I hope you're doing well. Samash says BLM is the dominant wing of the Democrats. Got you. A lot of Black people can't admit they got played. Well, it wasn't just Black people. It was everybody, right? A lot of people donated a lot of money. They made, I think, maybe the most money during 2020. Judge, how you doing? I hope you're doing well. Thunder says, I was hoping that they would have put the word "to" at the end, and that would have been ironclad and can't be twisted or remixed. Absolutely. Sayla, how you doing? It says Black people are indigenous to every continent, not just Africa. Very true. Dwayne, how you doing? Brother Sammy says, would love to go to Africa, but for the moment, we have a travel ban outside their U.S. plan placed by the minister. Yes, that is true. Dwayne says, they stole the money. We good on them. Just says, I have no interest in Africa or any of the sex expat countries either, or do you mean expat? Oh, I know. Okay, so it was a play on words. Got you. Hey, Miss Sweets, how you doing? I hope you're doing well. Let's see. Brother Abdul says, how can you trust anyone that use black people to death to raise money and then don't give the money to the black community? Good question. Crystal, how you doing? Says, I don't believe in this organization. All right. Thunder says, I got a point. It got to a point that it was LGBT rally and not Black Lives Matter. Yes, because most of those women, if not all of them, I think, were LGBTQ. So JJ, how you doing? Says BLM had a horrible, I'm tired, y'all. Had a honorable purpose, but it was the piss poor leadership that wrecks everything we start. Yeah, because they allow those folks and everybody else to get their hand in it. Brooklyn Bandit, how you doing? Long time no see. And Abdul says, oops. Okay, so I think I read that. Brother Reggie, how you doing? I hope you're doing well. Let me skip down a little bit so I could catch up. Buckhorse, I hope you're having a great evening. Says, I'm sorry, family, I'm listening and cleaning. There's nothing. Don't apologize for that. Let's see, Jay Bubba, how you doing? Says there will be someone that will fall for it. Yeah, unfortunately. Brooklyn Bandit says, and didn't give the family of George Floyd or Breonna Taylor. Oops, sorry about that. The phone is loud. A dime. Yeah, you would have thought that they would have, right? Because I know even Michael Brown's father had an issue with that. It's like, y'all raise all this money off of our names, Tamir Rice and all of them. And Patrice Cullors bought a lot of real estate, so Ja, if I didn't already, how you doing? Okay. And Charmaine, I hope you're doing well. He says a new era of taking more money from the people. Well, I think too, we also have to understand that the Global Network Foundation, the larger one, and then there's the satellites, if you will, the boots on the ground ones. Those are the ones that are saying, well, we are actually doing the work. But unfortunately, we kind of got roped into the nonsense of the Global Network Foundation, whatever the hell that means, right? Let's see. Brother Rich says, they have got away with many bags. Oh, yes. It's like, is she going to have to answer for that? Hey, Nina, how you doing? Thank you. Thank you. Charmaine says they're trying to spin the block on us. Yeah, but that's something that they typically are able to do, right? Like, we have a short memory. Till Dog, how you doing? Says Patrice said herself that her job wasn't to protect black men. Was like, that ain't what she said in the beginning, right? She lied. Kels, how are you doing? I hope you're doing well. Oops, I skipped up a little bit. Where'd it go? It just hopped up. Oh, y'all in here typing for real. Give me a second. My God. Okay, I'm gonna have to skip. I'm gonna have to skip down a little bit. Okay, so let's see. The Al-Qaeda says Obama was the biggest grift in Black American history. I you know what? I'll agree with you on that. I will definitely give you that. Another says in the original mission statement, they wanted to end straight relationship. It was like, yeah, okay. Brother Don, how are you? I hope you're doing well. Sayla says Obama is the king of, y'all know I hate that word. No wonder he never entertained reparations. He not a descendant of slaves. Anyway, plus he's not even American. He's Kenyan, and he's George Bush's cousin too. So he is American, as he was born in America. He's born in Hawaii, father Kenyan, and mother from Kansas, or I guess, but sounds like he was born in Hawaii. So technically his nationality is American. Ms. Sweet says, why wouldn't BLM change their name and mission statement? Because they know people are going to be like, we know who you are. Kenneth, how you doing? Says, good evening. I don't trust them Black women. They didn't do anything for George Floyd family. They did not respect Black men at all. They profit off of his death. It says, P.S. Africans do not like us at all. Okay. Brother Reddy says, yep, BLM was Alphabet Crew from the jump. But yeah, and they came under, the guise of, we're coming to help, Black men and, lives matter and all that. October Opal, how you doing? It says, don't speak so negative, Don. Have a little faith. I don't know what it is you said, but okay, so I got to skip down a little bit. I didn't realize you guys was going off like that with the keyboard. And did I say hello to Kels? If not, I'll say it again. Yeah. No, it wasn't a rotary phone. It's just a rotary ringtone. Brother Sam says maybe BLM means they matter in their numbers to support the LGBTQ agenda items, but not the Black agenda. Yeah, I can see that. Curtis, how you doing? Says that phone. No, I'm sorry to be the scary. I said that phone rang loud as hell. I almost jumped out of my skin. I almost did too, so don't feel bad. Cliff, how you doing? Says the title alone for this video is hilarious about BLM. Well, yeah, they say they're gonna start with a new era. It's time to turn over the leaf and recognize what they've been doing on the ground floor for the most part, right? Brother Abdul says the rainbow flag did not belong to LGBTQ as a sign of Almighty God that He will never destroy the world with water again. Fire next time, right? Thunder says, not gonna lie, that was a classic phone ring. I was expecting you to pick it up and say Pennsylvania 6500. No, I just like the nostalgia of the phone. The ringtone. Alonzo, how you doing? Says, hey, family, D and Donovan. There are a lot of dynamics surrounding the word integrity. You ain't lying. Hello, Beverly. I hope you're doing well. Says, next time we need to trademark our foundational Black American organization. It's not trademarked, or I think I heard something about it. Is that where Michi X trademarked it? I don't know. Let's see. So Brother Sammy said, what's a grift? That's kind of when you're getting over on people. I don't know if that's, slang, but it's when you're getting over. So you're representing one thing, but you're really doing another. Kelvin, how you doing? I hope you're doing well. Your average logical thinker. I hope you're doing mighty fine this evening. Judge says that phone can wake up the dead. So imagine when you're asleep and somebody calls you. A lot of times I have my ringer off because as y'all can see, it's very loud. But imagine when you don't turn it off. It's like, well, I'm going to be up for another 3 hours. Miss Sweetie say, what is BLM new agenda and why should we give them a chance to steal from us again? I guess they're saying that, there's different portions of BLM, Black Lives Matter Global Foundation, which is the big one. And then there's them. That's the boots on the ground, the satellite offices that they say were really doing the work, but didn't get any of that trickle down, theory of the money coming down. They didn't see any of that.
You want to know what's crazy about that, though? And Miss Sweet talked about a good point. And a lot of you guys are bringing up a great point here. We all can recognize what these people have done or not done within our community, but we don't demand that of the Democratic Party. What do you think, Demetri?
I'm sorry, say it again. I was reading that comment. It's funny. I want to talk about that.
Well, what I was saying was, it's funny how everybody in the comment, just about everybody in the comment, understands what this group did or didn't do within the Black community. And like, no, everybody's pretty much, no, I'm good. They kind of see that this was not, it wasn't it. But yet, as Black people, we can't seem to do the same thing against the Democratic Party.
I think the BLM doesn't have the roots and the longevity as a Democratic Party in a relationship with Black people. It's fairly new, 2013, But if you ask me, BLM is no different than NAACP and the Black Congressional Congress and all these other groups that say they're for Black people. They all have the same blueprint. They use the name Black to raise a lot of money and then go and help everybody else. So Blue Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter, they followed the same blueprint. They use Black people to go help the LGBTQ and go buy themselves real estate and ingratiate their people. So I think that's probably the difference. Black Lives Matter hasn't been around as long. Jay Bubba says, Dimitri, I'm sure one of y'all take on the Buffoon Boule Fest at the White House the other day. So you talk about, I guess it's Black Music Month. I guess is what it is. Of course, we know Juneteenth is coming up. And they had, I don't know if it was just gospel or just music in general. You talking about the one where Joe Biden was standing there next to Kamala and her husband, and then Kirk Franklin and them were singing, and he's just standing there like he's frozen stiff. I mean, it's more symbolism. Of course, they're going to pour it on thick because it's an election season. So they really got to let Black people know they care. Say like you say, no, he wasn't born. I'm sorry. No, he was born and raised in Kenya. That birth certificate is faker than a $3 bill. So, yeah, I mean.
Yeah, I kind of responded to that, and I would disagree, because if that was the case, the Republicans would have jumped on that, because you have to be born and a naturalized citizen of this country to be president. I don't think the Republicans would have let him serve 2 terms if he wasn't born here. So I'm with you in the aspect that he did, he wasn't all that. But the fact of the matter is, if he was not born here, they would have jumped on that. The opposition would have jumped on that immediately. So he was born in the United States.
Yeah, and Carrie, how you doing? It says starting over means they want to fundraise again in this election year to buy more mansions. um, it could be. I just know that because I've read up a lot on BLM and covered a lot of stories in the past. And BLMs, as I say, the grassroots. I guess that's what they're calling themselves. They present to be a lot different, as they also were sued and sued. The Global Foundation said that they were robbed of funds as well, and they were actually the ones that was doing the work. But then, Patrice Cullors and them on a larger level, they were the ones with with the checkbook. They didn't have any of the funds, so they're basically saying that we want to continue on with the original mission of making sure that Black Lives Matter, and to kind of turn a new page away from what it's become with the grifting, of Patrice Cullors. So I asked what they're saying. I don't know how true it is. Let's see. Damon, how are you? I hope you're doing well. Who else came on here? Sister Shirley, what's going on? It says, did BLM help push reparations? I haven't heard anything about it at all. If they have or have not, but I haven't heard that they are. The Anki says BLM is a part of the Democratic plantation. Yes, they are. It's my pleasure, Brother Samuel. And then let's see here. Curtis says BLM push reparations for their mansions. You crazy. Dwayne says BLM absolutely will not be allowed to be near foundational Black American reparations. Okay. Thunder says, question, do you think Hunter Biden's conviction will get the same airplay as former President Trump? Was he convicted? I'm just playing. Yeah, he was convicted on 3 felony counts in regards to lying about doing drugs and obtaining a firearm, I guess, on an application. Of course, it's not, you really kind of have to look for that story. It's not all over like it was when Trump was convicted of the 34 felonies, if you will. Yeah, they're not going to give it the same justice, but he's a felon now too. So should he be going to jail? So I don't know. Good question. Average Logical Thinker says, I signed up for BLM DC chapter years back and still get their emails. Shameful what has become versus what they said they represented. Yeah, you also got to remember too, during the time, Trayvon Martin was kind of the new era of lynching, let's call it what it is, right? And so then, of course, George Zimmerman got off, not guilty, and he's still roaming free as we speak. So I think that re-enraged a lot of people. Like, wow, we're still going through it. I remember watching the trial, from the beginning and the end, and then when they said that he was not guilty, it was just devastating. Like, okay, that really signifies that white supremacy has not gone anywhere. It's still here. Kennedy says, I already know Jim Crow Joe Biden have done nothing for the Black community at all. That is absolutely true. Rodney, how are you doing? I hope you're doing well. It says BLM equals grifters and liars. Yes, indeed. And Thunder says, question, I have a chance to buy bulk tuna. Should I get tuna with the oil or with the water? I would do the water. If you're going to do it, I would do water. Samaj says Billy Porter. Yes, that's who was there as well. Billy Porter, his lame Brian Moo also at the Boule barbecue. Yeah, with his wig. What is a wig or braids or crochets or whatever it was? And yeah, that glittery Moo he had on. I was like, yikes. So maybe it was Pride Month / Black Music. I don't know what it was.
Well, actually, it is Pride Month this month as well. I thought Billy Porter was broke. His white husband left him or something.
Yeah, that don't mean he can't be at the White House. You can still be, broke. Yes, I saw in an interview with Kevin Spacey, who said he is broke. He has no money yet to sell his home and all that other stuff. Of course, Kevin Spacey got caught up in the Me Too thing. He was accused by copious amount of people, which he in the trials, he was found not guilty, So he says, I've lost everything. And I'm like, Kevin Spacey. Kevin Spacey was one of my favorite actors. Now I know they, said he was doing some racist stuff too. So it's like, God, man, can you just act? But somebody of his caliber being broke, that's crazy. So he played in some of my favorite movies. Anyway, Say Less Laugh Out Loud Clown, Obama's a CIA agent. He has a cover story. Trump was the only one demanding his birth certificate. Duh. Yeah, I mean, there's really been no proof that he was not born here. I know
And
that's
Trump actually acknowledged that he
yeah,
was born here. So
right. It did the birtherism is what they call it. Did start with Trump. So yeah, he was born here. Unless that it's something else we don't know what's going on, and it's possible. But uh Brooklyn, he says at this point, making Biden run should be elder abuse. Shame on Jill in the DNC. I definitely agree with you about that. All right, so I'm gonna skip down again so I could catch up. Brother Steven, how are you? He says good evening, Demetri and Donovan. Also, your average logical thinker. I'm back. Yes, indeed. And again, tell your wife we said hello to her. Thunder says I find it interesting. They say the Trayvon Martin trial and George Floyd trial were not the ones on trial. Why is this? Oh, got you. So you're saying they call it the Trayvon and George Floyd, but they weren't on trial. It was George Zimmerman and Derek Chauvin. So I covered the George Floyd trial every day, and I report on every day. And I was careful to make sure that it was called Derek Chauvin. It wasn't the George Floyd trial. So you're absolutely right. Although there's times that they, being defense, tried to put George Floyd on trial, even though he's dead, right? So, Bape Rats, how you doing? I hope you're doing well. As Shirley says, I can't stand to hear anything about Biden or those Democrats. Yeah, it's getting to that point, right? Charmaine says they said Hunter Biden got high over 20 minutes. Even black, you crazy crackheads was like, damn. Oh my God. Kel says Billy Porter with his lame Brian Moo. Y'all wilding. Your average logical thinker says sounds like Billy Porter priorities are messed up or not. Yeah, it's just a lot. It was a lot going on there. Roland, how you doing? I hope you're doing well. Samuel C, I hope you're doing well as well. He says, good afternoon, Queen Demetria. Last week, Friday, was my birthday, turning 21 again, 41. Well, happy belated birthday to you. And I hope you had a great and fabulous 21st birthday. Get you something nice to drink. Brother Abdullah says, who cares where Obama was born? That he ain't doing ish for black people, right? JB1, how you doing? He says, grand evening, all made the live. Yes, you did. The Golden Child 12, how you doing? He says, no, it didn't. It started with Hillary Clinton. So you're saying Hillary is the one that was saying he wasn't born here?
During the debate, she did bring up the fact of the birth certificate. But you got to remember, in the primaries and things like that, when you're running for office, you're going to use anything you can to smear and mess up your candidate. Doesn't mean that her bringing it up that it was true. She's just bringing it up just to put in doubt, and that's why you do it. The fact of the matter is, you cannot be president of the United States if you are not naturally born citizen. That's just a fact. There's too many checks and balances to allow it. And then if I was a Republican and I know that my opponent is not a real citizen, you think I'm gonna let that person take office when I could probably sneak in and get the office myself based on that? I'm just saying, anything's possible, but that's not possible. Because if you really think about it, it doesn't make sense, because politics is about power. Why would if I know you are not a citizen and I'm running against you, why would I let you take that seat knowing that I have the goods on you?
Yeah. But even with that, Hillary Clinton starting that, it's funny that the Democrats will talk about Trump starting it, but they won't talk about Hillary starting it at all. I mean, Hillary said a lot of foul things when they were running up against each other, even kind of low-key insinuated that he was okay with, being a predator, all that kind of stuff. So, but to the naked ear, it didn't sound like that, but subconsciously, that's what she was trying to plant. Like, you can't trust him, this black dude, right? Because he's a predator. Because she was trying to talk about the way he voted on certain issues in regards to like sex crimes and things like that. Says that a lot of times he wasn't there to vote and just making up a bunch of stuff. Brother Salmon says, with all this Trump trial and Caitlin Clark talk, a distraction from the Anthony Fauci trial and the truth coming out about the jab and the lies told about it and money made off of it. Yes, I have been following that. Of course, they're saying that more people passed away during the pandemic with the help of the jab. Of course, we know that they were saying that it was safe and this, that, and the other, and everybody was with the conspiracy theories, but they are now saying, yes, it actually caused quite a few deaths. So absolutely. Let's see here. King, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. The golden child, you say. When Obama and Hillary was debating, and she said it, yes, indeed. Miss Sweet says, why do nonprofit investment groups target Black people using a disguise as group economics or building generational wealth? It's disgusting because they know overall we won't ask questions. A lot of times we just go with it. You know, it has a name Black in front of it, whether it's a politician, a pastor, or whatever it is. We just, oh, okay, I'm going to go with it. Alonzo says Obama was well vetted by Congress. I think he meant. Did anyone notice how light Kamala's skin was at the White House circus? Billy Porter, Wheezy Jefferson, you crazy. Corey, how you doing? Uncle G, what's going on with you? Says NFAC could definitely use some better leadership as well. Let me ask you, because I'm not abreast of what's going on with the NFAC. Are they still around? As I know that Grandmaster Jay, what did he get? Is it like sentenced to 20 years or something like that for allegedly pointing his firearm at an officer, which was bull, you know, but what did he end up getting, if y'all don't mind me asking? And what is going on with the organization? Jim Johnson, how you doing? Says, how did BLM not go to jail after blowing all that paper, living out their hood dreams? You crazy. They really have a lot of nerve.
Accountability against women? Oh, that's not going to happen. That's if you look at some of these court cases, these women could be running amok in the neighborhood, just destroying cars and stuff. I watch it on YouTube all the time, and the judge gives them probation. They don't go to jail. I'm a mother. That's when the I'm a mother, this comes out. I mean, it's just facts. They use what is to their advantage to get lesser of a sentence. If that was a man in a situation like that, we are always held accountable. Always.
Well, there were some men doing some grifting too up at the BLM organization as well. So, and they free as a bird. Saylor says, I care if they put a foreign agent in the White House. He's not FBA, period. Well, that's everybody, because we know that AIPAC has influenced everybody in the White House, Congress, and any 1,000-mile vicinity of the White House. AIPAC has influenced them. So, you know, in a sense, there are foreign agents there at the White House. But regardless if they are a foreign agent or not, what are they doing for Black people? They're not doing anything, whether they are FBA, NDA, whatever they are. What are they doing for Black people?
Yeah, if you go to the, I think it's a website where you can kind of see where the money goes and with these congressmen. If you go to the CBC, most of the CBC gets donations from AIPAC. Clyburn, you name it, all your top Democrats, Jeffries, they all get money from AIPAC, all of them.
Yeah, so I hear what you're saying, though. I absolutely hear what you're saying. Brooklyn says Kamala called Joe a pedo and still got a vice president pick. I don't know about that. I know that she accused him of being racist, and you know they're best homies now. So how things change. All right, let me skip down just a little bit so I can catch up. Damon, he says, why is everyone wasting their time in this dirt American system? You got a good question. Most of them, because we live here, right? Cringeworthy. How you doing? Says Black Lives Matter is just an empty mayonnaise cookie jar. Okay, let's see. Uncle G says, if it wasn't for Ahmaud Arbery, there would never have been an NFAC. Actually, I think, too, they were kind of on board with Breonna Taylor as well. That's kind of where he got in trouble, if I'm not mistaken, in Kentucky, right? Y'all correct me if I'm wrong. No reparation, no vote. How you doing? Hope you're doing well.
Who was the girl before Breonna Taylor? I forgot her name. I love her. She died in Texas. Sandra Bland. Yeah, Sandra Bland.
And there's, you know, a few other ones as well. Let's see. Judge says the jab came from Trump, least we forget, and the inflation came from his COVID checks too. Inflation came from the COVID checks. Was they giving out more money in COVID checks than they giving out now to fund all these wars and stuff? I don't know. I could be wrong. I'm just asking questions. Because I know I didn't get anything close to anything in the trillions at all, or billions. I didn't. So I'm just asking. Mission Visions, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Roland says BLM only helps the LGBTQT community. BLM does not help Black America. No, I think they've shown us that, right? And Miss Sweet says, yes, I've been following Dr. Fauci trial on TikTok. He's being blamed for everything that occurred during C-19 and after. It's interesting. Yes, indeed. Well, they pushed that on people. A lot of people who couldn't travel, work, or a whole lot of stuff unless they got it. A lot of people lost their jobs and everything behind not wanting to do it. So the average logical thinker says NFAC had the right idea, maybe lack of organization and strategy. And maybe, I don't know, should have maybe kept it underground just a little bit, because we know what happens. Black Panther Party is a great blueprint of that. And a lot of other organizations, but I agree with you. They had the right idea, and they had the rights to bear arms. It's a Second Amendment. They were utilizing that. So, but they want to make an example out of him, and like they do on the plantation, is this so-called Willie Lynch letter that cut off the head, and the rest of everybody, the body will die. Want to freak everybody else, right? Get the biggest, baddest one, make an example, so everybody will go back to business as usual.
And you got to think about when the Colin Kaepernick and the kneeling thing came down, and then Sean Carter comes in and just takes over that whole mantra for a few bucks. And this is the playbook that they do. They suppress the real workers, then they take it over and move it into a different direction. It's nothing's new under the sun.
Curtis says, Dimitri, are you still doing any videos with the investment dude? Yeah, he's just really busy. I talked to him yesterday. It happens to be my brother. I caught up with him. We had a very long conversation. So, of course, you guys know he is still going through his cancer stuff. So it's just better that he focuses on that at this moment. But yes, he will be back. I'm trying to get him to slow down a little bit. But yes, indeed, very helpful. Thunder says, what do you think about the Project 2025? To me, it sounds like propaganda. Again, I'm in the process of looking at it. I wanted to order the book rather, but it's gone. It's sold out. It's unavailable, 900 pages. I felt like maybe I should have it in a book, but if not, I'll maybe get the PDF file or something so I can start reading it, or get the cliff notes or the summation of it or something. I've seen some things on it, but again, I'd have to read it to really give it a full opinion. I'm going to do that within the next couple of weeks. Let's see. Alonzo said, did you hear it? Joe Biden pandering to Philly and telling them that the damn CBC were responsible for COVID checks. Yep, I watched that whole thing. It was ridiculous. I guess he's trying to, put a good word in for them. Damon says, funding Ukraine and the national debt is off the charts. Yep. Sailor says, a lot of COVID BS was Fauci's effing fault. Yeah, but I agree. He was the doctor that was, at the helm of it, but had a whole lot of people helping him, from corporations to just a lot of things pushing it. Like, if you don't get it, I mean, there's a lot of even nurses and doctors who lost their jobs because they're like, yeah, no, I'm not doing it. Right. So he had a machine behind him.
But wait a minute. I'm not going to let you guys put all the blame on Fauci. Didn't Joe Biden say he was advised about the crime bill and, hey, I got the wrong information? And you guys were good with that. Why are you guys on this man's head?
Right. Willie, how you doing? Says you can get the PDF online for free. Yeah, I saw it. I was like, I don't know if I want to download it to my phone. So I have to figure out a way to do it. Maybe on my computer. I don't want to sit at my computer and read.
And speaking of which, real quick, Joe Biden said he got the wrong information. Right now, the man knows that the information that he got to write the crime bill was incorrect or whatever he said, right? He's the president. Do you think they've repealed it yet? Knowing that it's wrong. Did he repeal it? We do nothing about it. We say nothing about it. So get off Fauci's head. He made a mistake. Oh, well, let's move on.
Yeah, well, I mean, we'll see, right? And thank you. I will pass that along to Walter. Your well wishes. King says COINTELPRO is real. Oh, absolutely. That's what I'm saying. As they say in the nation, study history. They haven't gone anywhere, even though they said that it's disbanded. It's like, sure. JB1 says America is corporatocracy, not a democracy. Got you. Jimmy says his birth certificate was a long form certificate. Yes, he did release that. The golden child, he says, Project 25 will benefit Black people. I read it. I've heard that, but like I said, I wanted to kind of read it myself and just really see what it is, because I've heard both sides. Of course, I heard the fear mongering on one side, and then so I kind of want to just get a gist for myself, what it's really about, so I can make an informed decision. Because I'm not one of those people that like to go off of what everybody says, depending on what it is. Something like that, I want to read for myself. So I just got to sit down and do it. Ronnie says, what are your thoughts? South African elections, particularly the EFF poll showing, and that's kind of, I don't know if it's shocking. Of course, I know there's other parties that's come about. Jacob Zuma has entered the chat, as you guys know, that he was disgraced and had to step down. He was the president of ANC, and he's back with I think it's the MK party, and it sounds like he's doing fairly well. So there's some speculation as to whether him entering the race, did it hinder the EFF, party or whatever? Of course, white people, they have theirs, the DA party. So they got a lot of parties going on, but the ANC, what I understand, is not faring that well either. So at this point, anything could happen. But Jacob Zuma coming back and regaining popularity, I think that says a lot.
Yeah, and it really wasn't that. Remember, Jacob Zuma, he's a Zulu, and it comes down to tribalism. So most of the Zulus in the Natal region supported him, regardless. They're like, this is our dude, this is our tribe, we got to support our tribe. And so the EFF is now the fourth strongest party. They went from third to fourth, so they dropped in their popularity. But there is strength because they have a parliamentary democratic system. The ANC needs to, since they didn't get a majority, they need to join with some of these groups to make a majority. So, there's still some power in it. But yeah, one of the things that plagues Africa the most is the tribalism. You got inexperienced people. You give them a job because they're in your tribe, and that's how they roll. It's all about taking care of their community.
Yeah, and also, Zuma could be a win for the EFF, because we know that Julius Malema, he was loyal to that of Zuma, and he left, and that's what partially would cause him to form the EFF. So, I mean, a win for one could be a win for the other. So it's very interesting. Miss Weech says, it's California being sued for giving out reparations. So it's Evanston, Illinois, that is being sued. Of course, they started giving out residents who were affected by redlining from 1919 to 1969. So they're being sued by 6 non-Black people. They don't say what they are, but they're being sued by 6 non-Black people because they feel like their families should have gotten the money as well. So, they don't ever want us to have anything by ourselves, but it's Evanston, Illinois. Let's see. I will, Corey. I will tell Walter as soon as I talk to him again. Damon says California isn't giving ADOS or FBA. Nope. They're not giving no money, right? They want the same old. Thunder says, I started reading a very good book called Black Titan. It's a book about A.G. Gaston. Okay. I love a good book. I got many books I got to read this summer. Brooklyn says New York City Mayor Adams still hasn't hired those police and firefighters and EMTs that wouldn't get the jab. Yeah, I see a big giant lawsuit coming down the pipes of class action of people who lost their jobs and, a whole bunch of stuff behind not wanting to do it. JB1 says Fauci was just the front man they put out there, still guilty. I agree. He wasn't doing that by himself. He had a machine. The astrological thinker says, what about several African presidents and vice presidents dying in plane crashes, etc.? Well, what you're thinking is probably what's going on.
Different folks, same strokes.
Right. Curtis says tribalism sounds like our school boards or anything else, right? Damon says the illegals in California get free health care. It was something else that I read that they get as well. There's actually a website for it. I have to remember what it was, but yeah, California is making sure they're getting over.
Yeah, and they're getting Medicaid, so they're getting that for sure.
Yeah, Ronnie says the MK is an offshoot of the ANC. Though Zuma can't run, he's a king maker. Well, he's running, so It's going to be interesting. Of course, he's saying that he was not guilty of misappropriation and
The 90 something charges he's under.
I mean, stranger things have happened, but
yeah. Again, look at Trump, look at Zuma, 90 something charges, and you can't get him on anything.
And how old is he? He's in his 80s. Is he? He's up there, but he's
yeah,
like,
I think he's got like 4 to 6 wives or something like that. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, so he's like, I'm back.
And then one of the judges in his trial mysteriously dies. It's strange stuff.
Right. So it's gonna be interesting. So anyway, I got to the end of the comments. Anything else y'all want to talk about before we?
I want to talk about this real quick, you guys. I'm going to show you guys something, and I want you guys to, hopefully you guys can see this. It is very important, at least to me. And this is what it is. I don't know if you guys can see that. Glory seasoned red beans and rice. Now, if you know anything about Glory greens and Glory beans and all this other stuff, high in salt content, right? Very high. Demetra knows I'm a Glory greens king. That's all I would eat. Glory greens. Yuka tells me that this product is excellent. It has beans in it. It has rice. So it passed the test. So I was kind of thankful to do that. So why I bring that up is the fact of the matter is we got to eat better as a people. We got to exercise and all that other stuff that we need to do because too many of us are checking out here early. This app, and we're not a paid endorsement or anything like that. I'm just telling you, this app has revolutionized the way I shop and what I do and how I eat. So if it's something that you want, this app also gives you the alternative, the healthier alternative. So if you haven't downloaded this, please do. And if you got children and young kids, this is a great way to start having them eat healthy. I'm getting tired of seeing 8 and 9-year-old boys and girls that are overweight, which they shouldn't be, but it is what it is. So just wanted to share that with you guys.
Ooh, I have to drink my water. I got this one. It's almost done. And another one to go. I'm drinking a gallon of water a day. So I got a little bit behind. So I got one more. Is it black owned? I don't know that it's black owned. Not sure. But whether it's black owned or not, it's free. It's a free app. So it's not like money's going anywhere. Although they do ask you to give donations to help them, as it is a free service. And it takes a big undertaking to, have everything scanned and them tell you that, like, it breaks down all of the ingredients and the hazardous chemicals and stuff in your food. So I don't know if it's black owned. I don't really concern myself about that as much if it's black owned, because I care if it's healthy or not. If I'm gonna, be here long enough with my black self, right? And before we came on here, I read an article that says that Gen Z is getting cancer more than the silent generation and the boomers. Certain cancers, not so much like in lung cancer, things that's connected to smoking. I guess because back then they maybe smoked more, and smoking, it's a lot of times they did it without the filters and things like that. But they said Gen Z is actually getting cancer more than the previous generations. And so they're really trying to figure out what that is. But I'm like, do you really have to do that? Because we know that cancer a lot of times is fueled by the things that we put in our body. Now, to me, I'm not a scientist. The only memory I have of science class is when my science teacher told me to shut up, and I told him don't talk to me like that, and he sent me to the office. The only remember I have of my science class, but I don't think it takes a rocket scientist to understand that back when our grandparents and parents were around, the food was a lot more natural. They didn't have all the chemicals you cannot pronounce in it. It was beans and water and salt, right? It wasn't the beans and the preservatives and the color and the this and the that and the, all that other stuff. So I don't think it's hard to follow the breadcrumbs as to why our generation, I'm a Gen, did I say Gen Z? Gen X is what I meant, Gen X. Gen Xers, I'm a Gen Xer. So it's not hard to figure out why we are getting it more. Plus we have a lot of stress. Cancer is also fueled by lifestyle stress and things like that. Back then, one person could work and take care of the whole house. It wasn't Inflation was keeping up with the cost of living. Things weren't as expensive as it is now. Plus, it's just the air is horrible. There's a lot going on as to why we would have cancer more. But when I think about an app like this, Donovan says yucca, say yucca, somewhere in there between the middle was the right pronunciation. But regardless, it tells you what's good to eat and what's not good to eat, and it tells you what's in there. So whether it's Black owned or not, I didn't even really think about it until you mentioned that. But no, in that situation, I don't care if it's Black owned. What I care is that I'm getting the information from it, and it's going to help me live a couple of minutes longer, maybe months, years, or whatever longer. That's what I care about. And we don't get anything from it at all. We're not spokespersons. We're not, we're none of that. But I just feel like when you find something good, you should share that with people. Some people will do it and some people won't. But I'm also like you, Donovan. I'm addicted. When I go to the store, it takes me a while to, you get the hang of what you can and cannot eat after a while, but it's still fun to say, oh, well, damn, I can't eat that.
and then looking for the alternative because that store might not have it, depending on what store you go to. And also, ladies, it works on beauty products. I was in there for some reason.
And me.
Yeah. For some reason, Demetria, I was scanning the soap. The soap that I regularly use, scan some it's peppermint soap. Excellent.
Oh, you're talking about Dr. Bronner's.
Yeah, whatever it was excellent. And
it costs a little bit pricey, but you can wash your hair. The peppermint soap, bro, you might want to get you another can because you get the peppermint in the wrong area. It's like,
That's for y'all.
Yeah, but with that, you can wash your hair with it. You can even wash clothes with it. So there's a lot of things that you can do with it. So let me get back to some of these questions. So yeah, we don't get paid for that, but it's good information. So you can know what's in your stuff. Yeah, Average Logical Thinker says thoughts on the judge in the Young Thug trial, putting his lawyer in contempt for not telling him who told him about the secret meetings. Yeah, that judge, it's
corruption.
Yeah, in my opinion, I think that judge is probably sleeping with one of the lawyers for the prosecution. It's crazy. It's like, how is he allowed to do that? So he put Young Thug's lawyer in jail and held him in contempt because the lawyers are like, you know what? It's some funny business going on because they had a witness that was pleading the fifth, but they forced him to talk and they locked him up. So they're just locking people up left and right because I guess he took a plea deal. So under that, he agreed that he would testify, but then at the last minute, from what they're saying, he said he's taking a plea deal, but Young Thug's lawyers are saying, no, what he told y'all, he was taking a plea deal. And then they found out that they took, I guess, the witness behind closed doors, them being the prosecution and the judge. And so Young Thug's lawyers is like, well, we heard y'all had a secret meeting. Y'all not supposed to have a secret meeting without us. Both sides are supposed to be present. And so the judge is a brother, says, who told you that? I need to know how you did. He says, I'm not going to tell you. The lawyer was trying to invoke attorney-client privilege. And he says, it's not attorney-client privilege. I need to know who told you. Otherwise, you're going to be contempt and you're going in contempt of court and going to jail. So he didn't tell him. So he put him in contempt. But the judge asked for a mistrial. He says, because I can't be here to represent my client if I'm in jail, or if I'm watching it online. So, of course, the judge said no. But yeah, that judge is up to something. If Young Thug is going to be found guilty, he's definitely going to have room for appeal. Should also be said that's the most expensive trial in the history of Georgia. And it says that it's going to at least go into next year. And so the prosecution, which is under Fonnie Willis, okay, this is her thing. They're talking about holding witnesses that won't comply in jail until the trial is over. So it's like there's a lot of coercion and extortion and stuff going on there right in front of everybody's eyes. It's crazy.
But isn't this also funny? You got Tiffany Henyard, who has been compelled by the state, as well as no, I think it was the state. He hadn't got to the court yet. I think the court did say something to release the information of what's going on with the finances, and she refuses to do so. What is the mechanism? What is going on with these people, these elected people. And unfortunately, this is putting a black eye on Black women leadership. It's really sad.
Well, there's a black man, that judge at the helm of that Young Thug trial. That's, I question what's really going on. He's I think, in my opinion, he's abusing his power there. It's crazy. So I have been keeping up with it to some degree. My daughter more so than anybody. She keeps me abreast of what's going on. And Miss Sweet, she says, health as well, less salt and sugar. Yes, definitely less sugar, right? Thunder says, according to Yucca, rum isn't on the list of healthy items. Yeah, I mean, you don't have to do what it says, but it's interesting. Brother Samuel says, how do you get yourself to drink a gallon? Many flavors that could be added have that dangerous aspartame. So no, I don't do that. I just take it to the head and just drink the water. I shut up, Donovan.
No. Look, her LA roots have come out. She remember them 8 balls and them St. Ides. She's taking it to the head.
I'm gonna pour out some for the homies that ain't here. I would, but I need it all. Yeah. I just drink it. I just take it to the head. I drink it. I try to be more mature about water drinking. I'm one of those people that doesn't have to taste good or sweet, or because, like you said, a lot of that stuff does have the aspartame in there. The sugar-free drinks is aspartame, which is known, what they say, or I'll say, could cause cancer. You want to stay away from that stuff and other diseases. But no, I just drink the water straight. It's mind over matter. Honestly, it's like grow up, drink the water. I start off early in the morning. I try to at least get down a half a gallon by 10, 11. Then I could coast all the way into the time I go to bed. Of course, I'll be getting up 45 times in the middle of the night, but I just do it. Yeah. Ragnar, how you doing? I hope you're doing well. Lord Flawless, how are you? Did I skip anybody else? If I did, I'm sorry. Kennedy says, I make my own collard greens. Do not do the canned stuff. I'm a sous chef. Yes, from the ground is much better. Reality with GP, how you doing? Says, just got here, but can't stay too long. I have a few strong points based on that title. You're sharing the link. I'll keep it under 5 minutes because I have a mission to embark on in about 15 minutes. I don't know if we'll share the link today. Let me see, Donovan. Okay. So, because we are out of time, but I'm gonna read the rest of these comments and we're gonna get out of here. Blasphemy, how you doing? He says, we thought cell phones would cause cancer to the brain, but we don't keep them up to our ears that long. Yeah, because you got earphones, and I lost mine today, so I gotta order some more. So yeah, right. So anyway, Judge says I eat greens every day, steamed in my rice. Yeah, you got to try to eat some leafy greens every day. Blasphemy says scientists are waiting 20 years to release this info because they don't want to scare everyone. Miss Sweetie says, I love cabbage and watermelon. I like them too. I try not to do watermelon as much because of all the sugar, but I do like it. Sparkling for Jesus, how you doing? Says, thank you so much for sharing the Yucca app with us. Yeah, y'all, download it and use it. Thunder says, I tried to scan the collard greens in my back. You crazy. In my backyard, but I couldn't find the barcode. Miss Sweet says, do you guys consider growing your own vegetables in a tiny garden? Yes, I have considered that. I'm trying to get acclimated to Houston because Houston, has a lot of strange things running around and growing. And last thing I want to go into the garden and see a snake or something in there. I'd be like, it's all yours. Okay. So I have to figure out how to do it. I'm just not a nature girl in that way. Herb, how you doing? It says Eat to Live by the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Yes, I have both volumes. I have read them. Absolutely great stuff in there. I do bean soup from time to time, but it's like, my God. Thank God I'm single. Because my Lord, it's like, anybody make bean soup? How do y'all cut down on that? It's crazy. That's why I don't like to eat beans, because it's just that should be considered abuse or something. I don't know. Tito, how you doing? It says, where can I get real fish? In the sea? I don't know. It might not even be real there too, right? Damon says, white rain soap from Dollar Tree scared. It says sacred excellence on the Yucca app. Okay, yeah, it doesn't have to cost a lot of money to be good. So good point. All right. Yeah, Judge says it's hard to grow food in Texas. The weather is too janky. That's what I'm afraid of. And Curtis says, careful with that. Dr. Bronner's, he says, you put that hemp in your hair and fail a drug test, make some deputy dog too happy. Yeah, I mean, a lot of that stuff. Yeah, so be careful. But the peppermint, yeah, you got to be careful when you put that because you will be hollering if you put it in the wrong orifices. Brother Samuel says it's good information. However, I would still recommend talking to a holistic, talking to a holistic health class, how to eat to live, books 1 and 2. So you're not totally dependent on an app. Yes, I totally agree with you with that. I like the app because even though you think you're eating healthy, you're not in a lot of cases. Like I said, I went back vegan, so I've been there for about 3 weeks, and I feel like I'm gonna stay that way. But I scanned a lot of stuff that I was eating because when I first became a vegan, I wasn't eating all that. They got a lot of man-made stuff now, and none of that stuff is good. It's like zeros and threes and stuff. So it's good for that kind of stuff because you may be thinking you're eating healthy and you're not. You're eating crappy. So I like to see the kind of chemicals in there, but I agree.
It just proves that our food supply has been poisoned. Our food supply is poisoned.
Allegedly. Mewendo, I hope you're doing well. How you doing? It says adding limes or lime juice to your water daily and gallon of water will be gone easily. Yeah, I do that sometimes. And it is a little bit more refreshing. Hey, Only Pound Weight says Yucca is not black owned. So yeah, I didn't know if it was or it's not black owned, but as I said, that I don't really care if it's black owned or not. I care about the information because I want to be here. Okay, so I'm gonna skip down. Thunder says, "Did you know that a peach tree on the produces produces fruit 1-2 season?" He says, "I'm truly sad by this, but I will admit the peaches that I grew this year with some of the sweetest I had. Should make a peach cobbler. That's what you should do." So he's saying once a season. Got you. All right, so let's see. Skip down. Who else came on here? Moindo, you says I can't drink water straight to save my life. Yeah, you got to though. Hey, Bobby, how you doing? It says Couch 2024. Yeah, blasphemy. Put a little liquor on it. Yep, the average logical thinker. Okay, so sun tea all day long. Yeah, you can drink tea as well. I just try to just do it and say, yeah, I don't need to have it tastes like anything. Says if you're urinating too frequently, you're overworking your kidneys. I almost burst mine. I drinking a gallon a day. So right now I'm okay. It's not, where I'm acclimated now to it. It's not where it's too much. But yeah, I feel a lot better though that I'm drinking it. Rodney says, is it black owned? Some folks are too pro-black for their own good. Edwin, how you doing? Says,
yeah, I think what he meant when he's saying that is
that's why I said I didn't need to say nothing else about it. That's some things just stand on their own, but I agree with you. Yes. Good night to all of you. Judge says, I drink a pint of water every 3 hours until 8. You have to pay attention to pee color. It should be a little yellow, but not too dark. Yeah, or as clear as possible. JMC Clinton, how you doing? Says hemp and weed are a form of the same from the same plant. Okay, good to know. Alonzo says, Demetri K, remember my 64-year-old friend with 2- and 3-year-old kids? He was diagnosed, with pancreatic cancer a few days ago and given 6 months to live. Many reasons people that age shouldn't. Your comment cut off. Oh man, I hate to hear that. My God. Well, we're gonna, pray that he does miraculously recover. I know that one's a kind of a doozy, but Laura Flawless says that is not true. Texas has the most nutritious soil in the country. I don't have a problem with the soil. I have a problem with the stuff that be crawling on and around the soil. So you said, Alonzo, his diet consisted of everything. Yeah, you can't put everything in your mouth. And I do mean that in a very clean way. Judge says South Texas has good soil, not Houston, which is clay. Okay. And Brother Samuel says, then bring to a simmer and add ingredients. So you said the beans. Oh, did I skip it? You gave me how to do the beans. Did I pass it? If you did, I didn't see it. Okay. Cause yeah, that's why I don't like to do it. Alonzo says kids probably won't remember him. That is very sad. Blasphemy says I did the Super Size Me challenge in 2012 and I ended up in the hospital. You know that he died recently. Deanna, what was his name? Super Size Me. Morgan Spurlock. Morgan Spurlock. He's the one that did that documentary. He just died of cancer I guess it's like last month. But he said when he did that challenge, he said that he was never the same. He said he had health. He did it for 30 days straight, eating McDonald's morning, noon, and night. He said he never really fully recovered. So he died of cancer recently. Be careful. Judge says you can pee out all your vitamins if you drink too much. Yeah, that's why I just try to do a gallon. The uncle says, I love you when you sport that fro. Okay, it's kind of hot now. Y'all got to wait till it cool off. And by then, it'll be a little bit bigger and longer. And that's what I'm trying to do. So right now, it's just going because it's hot. King says, didn't die. Ain't nothing but a little garden. Oh, I said it ain't nothing but a little garden. You don't care if it's a garden snake. Shit. Just unless you're working outside sweating, you don't need a lot of water. My doctor said I needed some water, so I started. So I missed the first comment. Okay, I'm gonna have to go back and see what it is, how to make these navy beans not tear my stomach up. So anyway, I love and appreciate every last one of y'all. We'll be back here tomorrow. I don't know what we'll talk about. Wednesday is just kind of what the F, right? What the F Wednesdays, because we don't know what the F we gonna talk about. But anyway, we try to get out here just a little bit early so that y'all can have your time and we can have ours. But in the meantime, you guys have a great day. And if you guys see fit, please donate to the channel any way that you can. Every little bit helps. But if not, please like and subscribe and all that. Also, please remember to go check out africadiasporanews.org and invest in the app that we have built just for you, because the more of y'all we have over there, the less time we have to spend over here being monitored and censored by them folks, because it is their app. So you guys be blessed, and we will see y'all tomorrow. Peace.